3 goals brought to you by Airtel Internet and Samsung Galaxy Note 2, incredibly creative.
World hockey's newest competition comes to the capital city, with both the men's and women's teams of India aiming to upstage some of the toughest opposition of the region in front of passionate home support. Can the home sides grab this golden chance to secure a berth in the following round to move further closer to automatic qualification for the World Cup?
Oh, that's a great finish.
The FIH Hockey World League Round 2 action starts from 18th February, live on 10 Sports. A resurgent Pakistan, with their emerging new strike force of young stars, embarks on another enticing campaign. This time, against the world's best team. Straight Drive returns with a revered panel of legends to preview every match of the series. So make sure you join our experts, Danny Morrison, Wakar Yunus, and Jonty Rhodes, every morning before the day's play, only on Straight Drive, 14th February, live on 10 Cricket and 10 HD.
You are watching 10 Action.
It's an evening of firsts at the Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium in Kochi, where India are taking on Palestine for the first FIFA International Friendly of 2013. It's an important game for both countries, with both Palestine as well as India looking forward to what should be an interesting campaign at the AFC Challenge qualification in two different countries across in the next 2 months. There are two titans of the local sport here in Kerala, Joe Paul Ancheri on the right, and next to him I am Vijayan, two iconic names in Indian football as well as that of Kerala. But there'll be a fair amount of support for the Palestinians as well, as we look at what should be an intriguing game. Here's some team news for both sides. First of all, the Indian 11, starting with Sandeep Nandi in goal. The first match for him in about 7 years in India colours for the 38-year-old. And a familiar look about the rest of the team, particularly in defence, the likes of Nabi, Raju Gaikwad, Gautam Singh and Denzel Franco getting a game today. Mehtab Hussain, who's made the midfield his own, and Clifford Miranda down the left flank with Francis Fernandez on the right, and Sunil Chhetri joined by young Alvin George up front. Their opponents, Palestine, are coached by Jamal Mahmood. They're missing a lot of their players. About 15 or 16 of their international stars are missing from this particular match. They haven't bothered to come down for this particular game. But nevertheless, look out for the likes of their captain, Abdul Latif Al-Bahadri in defence, right at the heart of defence. And Abu Habib in midfield is also quite a star. And of course, their two strikers up front, two of their foreign-based players. One of them is Al-Bahadri, and there's also Al-Fawagra, who's up front. There's a sprinkling of crowd at what is a huge stadium. Multi-purpose ground here, the Nehru Stadium, also used for cricket. In fact, not too long ago, did play host to a match between India and England in one of the ODI matches. But this is all about the players of India and Palestine, who are looking forward to gaining some valuable match practice ahead of bigger battles ahead. This is also the first ever match between these two teams. Palestine, of course, only formally taken into the FIFA fold in 1998, but they had their first international as way back as 1953. So in many respects, a rich history in the sport. And they're not to be taken lightly in spite of a rather lowly ranking of 152. And nor is the popularity of some of these stars who are real icons here in this part of the world. Joe Paul Ancheri still getting to meet a lot of his old acquaintances, fans. That is the VVIP and VIP gallery, by the way. And the tickets for this match have been priced quite reasonably. In fact, the VIPs can get in for just ₹200, and VVIP passes are available for just ₹500, which is not such a bad investment in terms of what you get to watch. This, of course, falls under the Greater Cochin Development Authority, and they have been involved in a lot of sports, most significantly football and cricket. It also played host to a few IPL matches, but it's all about football, the beautiful game this evening. It's a lovely evening in Kochi. It's a little humid. In fact, we are just beginning to experience just a bit of a drizzle, but it's only the odd drop here and there. It shouldn't play too much of a spoil sport in the sport. Expected maximum of 32 degrees, an expected minimum of 22 degrees, and a relative humidity of 69%, which will make things just a little bit hot under the collar for all the players. But it's a relatively good time to have a kickoff, close to 6:30. As we still await the appearance of the two teams, India and Palestine. They were just warming up just a while ago. And we are still awaiting the appearance of the two teams, and just a little bit of a clap which suggests that the Indian substitutes are coming out from one of the two tunnels being used for this particular game. You can imagine if these guys get this kind of reception, watch when the main players come out to play. This ground really does know how to look after its footballers and look up to them. Always a festive atmosphere. Another first today, of course, number 26, just about at the center of your screen there, is Izumi Arata. He could become the first player of Indian origin, person of Indian origin to take to the pitch. He's been named in the substitutes, hasn't started this match. There is Arata, the man from Pune FC, walking alongside some of his fellow substitutes. Will be a huge day for him. Naturalized Indian citizen now, and will be looking forward to make an impression in his new country colors. Good to see a number of youngsters, a number of school children, potential stars of tomorrow, looking forward to having their first taste of high quality, top-class international football action. Remember, the Indians are coming on the back of having completed their hat-trick of Nehru Cup titles in the 2012 Nehru Gold Cup. According to the run order that we were given, the teams should have been out by then, and there would have been a presentation of the AIFF Player of the Year, but that hasn't happened as yet. But there is going to be plenty of action, and pretty much the cue for things to begin. Here we go, international football returning to this lovely city of Kochi after a long, long time. And a good game as well. Incidentally, the youngsters coming out with the Indian first 11 members are players of blind football. So they are members of a blind football club here in Kochi. And they are just coming out with some of the heroes who play the game at the highest level and have done such amazing things for India. Captaining the team today, Sunil Chhetri, closing in on the goal-scoring records of his idols, the likes of I.M. Vijayan as well as Baichung Bhutia. He's been very, very phenomenally prolific in all his international experiences since making his debut back in 2005. And really has earned pretty much the right to wear that captain's armband. Indian football fans have missed him in action for a while, because remember, he doesn't any longer play in the I-League. But that is why all the more reason for them to look forward to his contribution this evening. The Palestinians, or the Al-Fursan as they're known as, the Knights, that's one of the nicknames they go by. The other name, Al-Fidai, the Fighters, will be looking forward to a good evening. First of all, we'll stand by for the national anthems, beginning with the visiting team. Indeed, first of all, the teams will be introduced to the coach, or rather to the chief guest of the evening, the mayor of Kochi, the man who's made it possible for this match to be organized at such short notice. Remember, this was a game which was originally scheduled to be against Yemen, and it was supposed to happen back in November. Palestine ranked 152, India ranked 166. Should be a very, very exciting game in prospect. There's the captain of the Palestinian team, their number 5, Al-Bahdari. All 6'2" of him, plays for Al-Hajira in Saudi Arabia. and is reportedly paid somewhere in the region of 280,000 US dollars per year. That's roughly about 1.5 crore rupees. So one of the highest paid athletes in Palestine. And Sunil Chhetri, of course, knows a thing or two about being well paid. He has been one of the highest paid Indian footballers in the recent years, but somebody who's worth every money spent on him because of his prolific goal scoring and also his contribution which he takes into the team and the leadership role that he takes up. A lot of young faces in this Indian team that we'll get to see a lot of in years to come. All set, one would think, for the national anthem of Palestine. One of the great things about playing sport at any level for your country, getting to hear that national flag and getting to experience the thrill of representing your country at the highest level. There will now be the presentation of the AIFF Player of the Year Award to Saeed Rahim Nabi, and the presentation will be done by the Indian coach, chief coach Wim Kovermans, the Dutch-born coach of India. And it's good to see because Saeed Rahim Nabi not so long ago was injured in that rather disastrous derby match between East Bengal and Mohun Bagan. Good to see him back on the pitch, good to see him with a smile, and good to see him looking to make a contribution yet again in this particular match. So just to confirm the Indian 11 once again, it's going to have Sandeep Nandi in goal. He'll have in defense Saeed Rahim Nabi, Gauramangi Singh, Raju Gaikwad, as well as Denzel Franco. And then the midfield will comprise Clifford Miranda, Lenny Rodriguez, Mehtab Hussain, Francis Fernandez, and up front the Indian captain Sunil Chhetri will be joined by the 20-year-old from the Palyan Arrows, Albin George. So lots to look forward to with India lining up in a very traditional 4-4-2. From the Palestinian 11, look forward to Mohammad Ashbair, their 26-year-old goalkeeper. And of course, their skipper, the big man, Al-Bahadri, who will be joined in the heart of midfield by Mahdi. And they'll have Abu Habib and Kaware. And as far as the rest of the team goes, Palestine have only named 6 substitutes. And in comparison, India have as many as 12 in this particular match. So the current AIFF Player of the Year and his teammates looking forward to their battle against the fighters from Palestine, just acknowledging the presence of a very sporting crowd here at Kochi. Promises to be a evening of glorious entertainment. Lovely, lovely pictures coming to you right here from the one of the southernmost regions of this football playing country. There's Saeed Rahim Nabi now with Mohan Bagan, but has played before for East Bengal as well as Mohammedan Sporting. So one of those players with an experience of having played in all big three of Kolkata football. It's the Indians who'll kick things off. Poised over the ball with his rather incredible new haircut. It's Mehtab Hussain and Alvin George who are poised over the ball as India get things moving. India playing in their familiar blue and going from left to right. And up against them in red are Palestine. Clifford just waiting for that particular throw-in to be taken, looking for some support. It eventually comes in the shape of Saeed Rahim Nabi. Sunil Chhetri. Now on to Lenny Rodriguez, who will do that midfield holding role, which has been quite well associated with somebody like Climax Lawrence. In the meantime, the Indians looking for the first free kick of this match. And they get that as well. Rowan calling for that particular challenge against Nabi. So India with an early opportunity of putting some pressure. Both Mehtab Hussain as well as Clifford Miranda poised over this ball. Some support inside the box in the shape of the likes of Gauramangi Singh right at the far end, as well as Saeed Rahim Nabi bursting to get past their markers. This has been sent in. It is looking for Gauramangi Singh, but unfortunately was hit quite long, so no problems at all. Kovamans has been in action for less than a year, but he's already had some good results and will be looking eagerly forward to the AFC Challenge Cup, which begins in just about a month's time. And that's going to be perhaps the biggest acid test for his short stint as India coach thus far, having already won the Nehru Cup in 2012. Now Palestine just looking to get some sort of control over midfield. This has been sent back to the captain, Al-Bahadri. On to the left, where Abu Jazar almost dispossessed by a valiant attempt from young Francis Fernandez. This is a long ball looking for one of their strikers, Abu Kharkoud, but it has been well defended by the Indians. India looking to put this back into their opponent's half. It's Alvin George who's making that move. He's going down with a lot of action and a lot of energy as well in the on the pitch. The youngster from the lovely city of Nagpur. Now this ball has been sent up, looking once again for Abu Kharkoud, who is looking for some support from Ashraf Al-Fawagra. Thus far, they haven't seen too much of the ball, have the Palestinians. This is an attempt, though. It has been sent up quite well. Denzel Franco doesn't quite collect it cleanly. This has been picked up here by Ashraf. Ashraf looking for some space to get a shot going, and there's some sloppy defending in the end. Sandeep Nandi gets the ball away. Some nervous moments for the Indian defense. Sunil Chhetri dispossessed with a burly tackle, but deemed to be legal by the referee for today, Rowan. And eventually some cleaning up done here by Francis Fernandez. So an intriguing midfield battle thus far. Both teams looking to get a little bit of possession. This time, Sunil Chhetri overcooking that pass just a tad, but well done by Lenny Rodriguez to keep it in play. And Denzel Franco was looking to set it up for Alvin George, but no problems at all for the defense. Mahdi doing well in getting that ball away for the visitors from Palestine. Easily discernible tonsured shape there of Abu Saleh, looking to get that pass going, but goes straight to Sandeep Nandi. Nandi, of course, now plays for Churchill Brothers, and his recent domestic form has been rewarded with a call-up back again to the Indian team at the age of 38. But of course, in international football, that has been the case in the past. There have been some footballers who played well into their 40s and done pretty well for themselves. Two names which come to mind, the likes of Dino Zoff as well as Peter Shilton, who did such a fine job. He's not quite 40 as yet. Jamal Mahmood, 39 years of age, born in Amman in Jordan, but played a lot of his football in Jordan as well, but has been managing since 2011 and has had quite a good record. This time his team might be forced to defend, and it was a good run coming in from this man, Saeed Rahim Nabi, one of the utility men in the Indian 11, somebody who can really play across all positions. What an asset that can be for a coach. Palestine also resting their regular goalkeeper for this particular match. In fact, their first choice and their usual captain, Ramzi Saleh, the 31-year-old who plays in Egypt for the Smuha Football Club, hasn't actually made this trip, as have a number of other players as well who are based abroad, playing in places as diverse as Israel, Belgium, Argentina, Denmark, Poland. Just looking to get a little bit of forward movements going. This was yet again Abu Saleh, the man who will turn 30 on Valentine's Day, playing his 30th match for Palestine, the man from Hilal Al-Quds, one of their domestic based players. So into the first 6 minutes, no special thrills as yet from either side, looking a bit like a heavyweight boxing bout, with both teams just beginning to establish some control and trying to keep things as calm in midfield as possible, looking for more of the possession. Once again, down from the right, Abu Saleh with a poor attempt at a pass, but the Indians just allowing it to come through. Ashraf Numan all the way back to his teammate in the heart of defense, Mahdi. Now this has been picked up in midfield by Khadir Yusuf Abu Hamad. Plays for Wadi Al Nes, a 28-year-old man, one of the most experienced players in this particular squad, and no doubt somebody who they look to try and hold the midfield together. Possession with the Indians. Smattering of blue across the pitch. Mehtab Hussain gets the ball away. Gets his back from his state mate, Saeed Rahim Nabi. Nabi on to Lenny, who's split this one through. Sunil Chhetri was looking for the run from Alvin George, but it was well read and intercepted by the Palestinian defense. This is a long ball. It's aimed at the run of Francis Fernandez, who's got some electric pace down the right. He's sent in a useful cross, but not able to make the most of it, the Indians, and it goes across harmlessly. No problems at all for Mohammad Shbair. Sunil Chhetri was the intended recipient of this cross coming in. And an overlapping run down the left, almost proving to be costly. It was Clifford Miranda who was looking to make the most of it, but just couldn't make it on time. Now this time it has been sent through for Ashraf Numan, who's been quite useful down this left flank. He's got a good foot on him, but doesn't go for a shot. Instead looks to lay it up for Abu Habib. Ashraf looking for the return ball, but it's well intercepted by Gauramangi Singh. Trying to find Sunil Chhetri, the Indian captain. Chetri's intended pass for Clifford Miranda takes a couple of deflections and eventually results in a free kick now for Palestine, who have given a pretty good account thus far of themselves. They've defended quite resolutely and every now and then are looking to exploit the flanks. That's something the Indians haven't used too much thus far, barring that one run which came in from Francis Fernandez. Denzel Franco brings down Ashraf, and just a word of caution from Rowan. That's not on, young man, though. The referee is there for a job, and he is doing it. But yes, it was a tad naughty there from Denzel Franco. Denzel, 26 years of age, playing now for Churchill Brothers, has really come of age across the last 2 or 3 seasons in domestic football. And the commitment of the Indians exemplified by that attempt in defense from Raju Gaikwad. Gurmangi Singh, in many respects one of the senior pros in this team, who's got 50 plus caps now and will be looking to exploit that experience, but he's up against a very useful ally, or an opponent rather, Ashraf, and the first shot, the first attempt at goal coming in from Iyad Abu Kharkoud, the striker from Al Khalil, who's already had 2 goals across 11 caps for Palestine, and got a pretty useful pass here from Ashraf. And wasn't that way far off the mark, just getting his first feel of foot on the ball. Perhaps on hindsight could have done a lot better, could have at least extracted a save from Sandeep Nandi. As it happens, no dangers, no alarms setting off for the Indians. Just past the 10-minute mark now, no goals as yet thus far at the Nehru Stadium in Kochi. Header coming back from the captain Al-Bahdari for his goalkeeper, Eshber. Eshber is playing only his 14th cap. The man who plays his football for Al Khalil. He actually played the 2006 AFC Challenge Cup. So was literally quite a young starter in this Palestinian 11. He might be tested once again. Francis Fernandez, yet again the man with the run, sending this ball back in, looking for Chetri, but it's defended and results in the first corner of this match, goes to the home side. So looks like Francis Fernandez will be a constant thorn in the flesh for the Palestinian defense. And if the strikers can find their range, then there'll be a lot more for them to celebrate about. Will be the Dempo man, Clifford Miranda, to send this in. It's a rather feeble corner, just coming in towards the near post, and a slew of red shirts eventually getting that ball away. An attempt comes in, but it's a rather feeble one in the end. That attempt coming in from Francis Fernandez, who wears the number 10 in this Indian lineup. Palestine's captain Al-Bahdari on the ball, on to Mahdi. Looking this time for Mali Kaware, back to the captain. An important phase here for Palestine, just to slow things down, just to get some control over proceedings. Once again, trying some route one football, as they call it, going for the long shot. But nobody in a red shirt across to pose any kind of threat to Sandeep Nandi. The Indian support staff there alongside Wimco movements, consisting of the likes of Savio Madera as well as Marcus Pacheco. They've been with this Indian setup for a while now. I've seen a bit of a transition of sorts, both in terms of coaching personnel as well as in some key players. Sunil Chetri there was looking to set up a chance for Alvin George, but it was well intercepted by Mahdi. Back with possession of the visiting side. Abu Saleh. On to Abu Hamad. Nearly dispossessed, but still with Palestinian possession. Abu Jazar rather. Good spell of play from the Palestinians, just keeping possession, keeping control over proceedings, sending a balling, a teasing one in for Denzel Franco. And the throw-in given in favor of India. In fact, looked like he was also penalized for a push. Ashraf Numan has been doing a good job of putting a lot of pressure on Denzel Franco. And it already looks like that will be one of the key battles this evening for this man, Jalal Mahmood. For those who may not know, Palestine has a pretty decent structured domestic football as well. They have something called the West Bank Premier League. They have a few teams which are also based out of the Gaza Strip, but unfortunately because of all the disturbances that have been there, it's not been possible for them to play too much of football there. Rowan from India is, of course, the referee for today's FIFA friendly between India and Palestine. The first match at least for the Indians this year, also for the Palestinians in 2013. Both teams preparing for their rigorous AFC Challenge Cup qualifications ahead. Clifford Miranda will be looking to send this ball in with his left foot. There's at least 5 blue shirts in there. The closest to it was Sunil Chhetri, but it was also close enough to Mohammad Ashbair, the goalkeeper who plies his trade for Al Khalil, the team which is currently second in the West Bank Premier League behind Shabab Al Tahriye. Clifford comes away with the ball once again, gets a nice 1-2 going with Alvin George. Looking here for Chhetri. Puts some pretty decent pressure and gets another corner out for the Indians. The Palestinians not too happy about the challenge coming in, but a good hard challenge coming in from the Indian skipper. Just perhaps a little bit of a push and tuck right at the back, but the ball had already gone out and the decision had been given as a corner by then. So the second such dead ball for the Indians. It's been sent in quite nicely and it wasn't too far away from Said Rahim Nabi either. But Shbair doing well to hold on to the ball. So India, as the game has gone on, have just taken a bit of a leaf out of the Palestinian book. Now they are looking to use those flanks as well. And that has reaped some good dividends, particularly down the right with Francis Fernandes looking quite lively. Now though, the ball is with the visiting side. Not utilized their right flank as effectively as their left perhaps. And that is something which Jamal Mahmood will be telling his team to do. A bit of a soft giveaway, giving the ball just over to the Indians. Nabi. Well received by Chhetri. One touch through to Alvin. He's got a lot of players free on the right. One of them here is Denzel Franco. Splitting that ball through, but perhaps was looking for a run coming in from Lenny Rodriguez. But effectively, it was just bisected perfectly between Lenny as well as Francis Fernandes and went far too close to the goalkeeper from the Palestinians to bother the Indian side. Possession giving in away once again in midfield. That's been one recurring mistake. This is a great chance for Alvin George. It's a first-time shot and well saved. The follow-up is in the back of the net. Clifford Miranda is, in terms of age, one of the senior-most outfield players, and he's shown the value of experience on that occasion. Only his 9th goal in an India cap, and it comes thanks to a fantastic move coming in. The first attempt came in from Alvin George. He did well to lay that up, and Clifford Miranda, he's known to strike it ferociously with his left foot, and it was an outstanding goal as well. So India take the lead. In the meantime, there was also a bit of an intruder on the pitch. So much is the excitement level out here at Kochi. He's just been whisked away by the security forces, and that will mean that play can restart almost immediately. So India, given perhaps pretty much the ideal start, then Kovermans will be sitting quite happy as a result of this goal coming in within the first 18 minutes. Always important to get some sort of momentum, and the Indians have just done that in the last few minutes. Got a few moves going, got a few good attempts towards goal, and eventually it has resulted in the first goal of the evening. It's up to the Palestinians now to try and rework their theory. Their foibles in midfield have been exposed a little bit, just not able to retain possession of the ball long enough, one would suspect. Wim Kovermans rather will be quite happy with this start has been given to his side. Once again, much like the first few threatening moves, most of the work came in from the youngsters, which was a heartening sign. First Francis Fernandez, then Alvin George, all of them joining into the party, and then befittingly, one of the more experienced players in the team coming in and sealing it off with the first goal of the evening. Al-Bahdari sending a long ball in, but that is not going to bother anybody in the Indian goal. Sandeep Nandi will be quite pleased with the way that this is going. Ironically, he's up on his feet for the first time after his team has scored. They have the advantage now, of course, one goal lead. And I can tell you, this stadium at Kochi has this ability. It does tend to reverberate when the fans get excited. And the stands definitely started shaking as soon as the Indian goal was scored. And one can only hope that one can look forward to a few more occasions, but not too many, because otherwise the roof might come down. Francis Fernandez has had a very, very good game thus far down the right flank, worked ceaselessly. Perhaps not done too much of defensive work, but then he's been employed as a bit of a shock and awe player. And he's done that quite well this evening. With the likes of Lenny Rodriguez and Mehtab Hussain shoring up the midfield, it's allowed the youngster from Salgaonkar the opportunity of moving forward as often as he can. Yet again on the ball, but cannot keep it in play. Possession with Palestine now. Khader Yusuf Abu Hamid all the way back to his captain Al-Bahdari. I'm sure you can pick on what is an electric atmosphere at the moment at the Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium in Kochi, which it must be said is looking quite significantly fuller than it did when it began. And as I'm sure you can hear in the background, there's a few Mexican waves going around, and they'll only continue as long as Palestine come up with these hopeful attempts at goal rather than anything constructive from Jamal Mahmood's team. Clifford Miranda thus far the only goal scorer. This is where it began. It was Alvin George's shot, and Clifford just following up and banging it, hammering it through. And befitting that the youngsters coming up first to their statemate, in case of Francis and Lenny in particular, and thanking him for giving them this 1-0 lead. This was another attempt yet again down the left flank, this time from Alvin George. So the Indians just beginning to get both flanks operational. Overlapping run this time from Denzel Franco, but rather hopeful ball, not with any accuracy, easily dealt with. Or is it? Eventually, Palestine do manage to get the ball away. So midway through the first half, India leading by a goal to nil, and they have by far made the more positive and opportunistic attempts of this half, and there could be another in the offing. Yet again, it was the goal scorer Clifford Miranda who was looking to move forward. This is well intercepted by Denzel Franco. Gets it through to Gaurumangi Singh, the man from Manipur, who's had quite a meteoric rise in Indian football the last few years. Has got his opportunity as a result of a few injuries to his senior teammates in defense, and once he's got that, he's made the most of it. Been a regular virtually for the last 5 or 6 years now in the Indian side. And also got the honor of scoring one of their goals in their first appearance at the AFC Asian Cup in 27 years back in 2011. But for the moment, he and his defensive mates will have some work to do, because this has been split through. It's a lovely ball. Sandeep Nandi comes out and denies Ashraf. Could still be a follow-up attempt, but it's way wide of the goal coming in from Khader Yusuf Abu Hamid. Nevertheless, a lot more positive coming in from Palestine. Getting that defense splitting pass, and just for that instant, showing a little bit of defensive weakness. Abu Jazzer sending that ball in, and it wasn't very well picked up by the Indian defenders. Denzel Franco outpaced eventually by Ashraf, and thankfully for him, his Goalkeeper was leading the way from behind, coming in and averting danger and ensuring that the score stays 1-0. Jamal Mahmood's team just needs to get a little bit of that consistency in midfield on a few more occasions, get a few more passes going, hold on to possession for longer periods. They have got this opportunity given a free kick, not too far away from the Indian penalty box, as a result of some close attention paid by Denzel Franco to the man who's given him a lot of botheration right through the evening. One gets the impression somebody like Ashraf could score before this evening is through. One of their foreign-based players plays for Al Fazli in Jordan. In fact, only two foreign-based players who have made the trip eventually. There was a lot of buzz also about young Imad Zatara, who dropped out at the last moment, plays in Sweden. This time the free kick going straight to Nandi. No problems in collection for the Churchill man. Long ball which was sent quite hopefully, but well received by Chetri. Setting it up for Francis. Here's Lenny. Sending a useful ball in, and had it not been for skipper Al-Bahdari, his opposite number, Sunil Chetri, might have gone for it. Eventually a long speculative effort from Mehtab Hussain, but nowhere near target. Nevertheless, some good pressure from the Indians. Doing well first to get that move going, and eventually Mehtab Hussain never one to take a backward step, getting a chance and having a stab at it. No harm done for either side. So a very lively first half thus far. India with by far the better chances, but Palestine every now and then just showing that they have the ability to cook up something good for themselves. This is the big burly figure in defense of Khalid Mahdi. Turned 26 just about a week ago. So a lot of experience in their defense, and that's where Palestine perhaps will be kicking themselves. That with so much of experience among the back four, they would want to try and keep it tighter than they have thus far. Just far too many occasions when they've allowed the young Indians to run at them. This man has been quite priceless for them though. Ashraf getting some support from his strike partner, looking for that ball back again is Abu Kharkoud. Teasing ball was sent in by Abu Jazar, but it was well dealt with by the Indian defense, and the flag also going up for offside against Palestine. The referee's assistance today on this side of the pitch is Muhammad Kamil from Delhi, and he was the one with the call. Just ensuring that things were kept quiet on that occasion for that ball which was sent in, while one of the Palestinian players was definitely hanging around in no man's land, so it seemed. Was attempted long ball, but well dealt with by the Indian defense. Once again, Lenny Rodriguez. Mehtab Hussain has been rock solid as a defensive midfielder today, and every chance he's got, he's looked to move ahead when there is strength in numbers. Abu Hamid. Ashraf. Back again with Ashraf, whose understanding with Abu Jazar has been quite outstanding today. This is scooped up, looking quite dangerous. It's been well received, could still be an opportunity, but a good bit of defensive work from Said Rahim Nabi. That's why he's such a good man to have in your squad, as is this man, Izumi Arata, somebody who can play across a lot of positions on the field. First came to India, one can still remember, in the 2006-07 season when he came in after having spent some time with Albirex Niigata in Singapore, as well as the Mitsubishi Mizushima. in Japan. Began his career in Indian football with East Bengal. And his performance will be something that those young fans of Palestine will be looking forward to. If he does come onto the field today, he can definitely entertain with his electric pace on the pitch. At the moment, pace is something that Palestine are looking for, just about reaching the half-an-hour mark, trailing by 1-0. But a few constructive moves, not the last of which is this one. Coming in down the right, the ball has been sent in. Could be a chance, and it is a goal as well. Eventually the dam has burst, and it is that man, Ashraf. He has been threatening down that left flank right through the evening, and at long last, when he got the opportunity, he made sure that he put it away and brought Palestine back on level terms. Good bit of work down the right flank as well, sending that ball in, and the Indian defenders, just for that split second, guilty of ball watching. Good ball though from the vastly experienced Raid Faris. Knew that if he got Ashraf in some kind of space, there was every chance that he would put it away, and that's exactly what happened. Calling his mates over, giving the flag a bit of a punch, and quite happy to express himself and bring his team back on level pegging terms. So this is turning out to be a very, very entertaining game. Perhaps not unexpected that Palestine have scored, because just of late they had got a few good constructive moves together. And that pretty much reflects what has been happening this evening. It's a humid evening, and that's why a lot of drinks being passed around, a lot of water being consumed. But Ashraf getting a very, very important goal, first goal for Palestine this evening as well. Based, as we mentioned earlier, in Jordan, plays for Al Faisali there. This was his 5th goal in his 32nd cap since making his debut for Palestine in 2009. They're not happy with some of the physical challenges coming in. In fact, this is always a bit of a contentious issue in a friendly, never mind the seriousness of the game. When you have a referee from the same team as the host nation, then there's always likely to be the odd decision which may not go down very well with the visiting side. But here's an opportunity for the Indians. It's a corner, as the drizzle once again just begins to appear here at Kochi. Clifford. This is very well received and kept in play by Mehtab. Lenny looking to set this one up for Gauramangi Singh, but far too wide for the man who plays now with Prayag United in Kolkata. At 27, possibly one of the more senior members of the squad, and somebody with his wealth of experience of having played pretty much at the highest level that the Indian team has made in recent years, the AFC Asian Cup, where he also scored against Bahrain. A man who can pass on a wealth of experience to his younger teammates. Now, this is a useful looking pass. Coming through once again, it is that danger man Ashraf, making his way through 2 men, almost getting past a third. But good bit of work by Raju Gaikwad, eventually dispossessing him of possession. And here comes Lenny Rodriguez. Francis Fernandez on to Mehtab Hussain. Finds Alvin, who every now and then just drops himself back a little to try and retrieve the ball. Always a good sign for a striker. He's basically allowing Sunil Chhetri to play as the lone man up front. Acrobatic clearance.